Hello, fellas and ladies. It's time. Globes are on Monday. There is finally the start of the actual season. We're finally going to get some answers. Probably going to find out just how fucking wrong we all were. Yesterday, the AFI announced a top 10, which was, generally speaking, I would say the consensus 10. They even broke their own rules just to throw Amelia Perez in there. A lot of people are saying, oh, that just might be our 10. And they could be right. We're going to find out on Monday, honest to God. Let's just go right into drama picture. This is going to be the defining, moment when we find out if the 10 is just done. Easy. Perfecto. And I'm just going to go right to my number 6 slot, which is a complete unknown. I have seen it. I thought it was pretty fucking bland. I can definitely see a world where it misses here, but I feel like I should just buckle up and just say, all right, fine, let's not be a hero. Let's just predict a complete unknown. This will be the defining thing. Everything else, The Brutalist, Conclave, Sing Sing, and Dune, everyone agrees it's just set in stone. They're getting in, no questions about it. In terms of wins, I think Brutalist or Conclave or Sing Sing can take it, but what's not? We're talking about noms today. Nickel Boys, I think, is just gonna happen. The trajectory is pitch perfect at the moment. It's just gonna go maybe it'll miss SAG. Well, it will miss SAG. There's a shot PGA doesn't go for it because they're fucking cowards, but honestly, I think of this where Nickel Boys is just on the perfect trajectory. It's just a complete unknown that is the, unknown factor. My thing is, if it gets in here, done. Easy. That 10 is set. Complete unknown. Locked. Because if it gets in here, then it's going to get CCA. It's going to get CCA for sure. I think PGA will go. Then it'll pretty much tell us that PGA is also going to go for it. At that point, there's not really any room for anything else. But if it misses, done. Shot in the fucking heart, throat slit, head removed. Done. Timothy would probably still get in, but that would be it for a complete unknown if it misses this. Because it will still get CCA, but at that point, it's okay, well then, it's just going to get in with CCA. I just don't feel I feel like it could miss here, and it could throw the race back in, and whatever gets to the 6th slot, and then the final 2 slots in Comedy Picture are who's duking out for the final slot. That could be the case, but I feel like I should just save my breath and just go with a complete unknown, and then, see what happens. But let's talk about what could potentially make a case for that 6th slot. I think the biggest one is the Seed of Sacred Fig. That's such a peculiar one because, it's not, I don't think it's going to do that well with critics. So far, it's not really, a one something, I think. It does still have, the thing stuff. It could get screenplay, it can get director still. Maybe it gets in here, and that sets it off from there, especially if Complete Unknown misses and dies. I'm Still Here is having a bit of a moment. I do think Actress is pretty set in stone for the Globes, for Fernanda Torres. I saw the movie, and I love the movie, but I do think that, it is baity, I will say. It's definitely not impossible. I'm just not in the camp that it's going to go that far. Everything else, Nosferatu is the last one I haven't seen. And I hear it's fantastic, but Eggers can't really do much with that. September 5th, I've seen it. Hilarious. I think September 5th is just going to be hilariously, it's going to become a meme in the award circles for quite some time. I think it's just going to completely blank the entire season. Apprentice, unlikely. Gladiator 2, completely gone. Blitz, dead. Room Next Door, some people are still trying to make happen. Don't buy it for a second. Don't really see where that passion is coming from. Comedy musical picture. Now, alright, let's just, again, play it simple. Honora, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. They are duking it out for the win. They are locked. A Real Pain is also a lock for a nomination. Skip those. We know those are happening. No real reason to dive that deep. Let's go on to the last 2 slots, which in my opinion is simply down to Challengers, Saturday Night, and The Substance. Challengers, I think, is chance at a Best Picture nomination is kind of in the water. I feel like more than anything missing out on NBR and, AFI. That was, supposed to happen for Challengers, I feel like. Then he has Saturday Night, which is definitely the baitiest film here. It's definitely got very strong industry appeal, very strong technical appeal. But, reviews aren't, the perfect, and again, it just has kind of feel like it's faded from view. Then you have The Substance. I think it's probably the one with the most passion here, but, it's a fucking gross genre horror body horror movie. I think it's very sticky. I think Demi Moore is pretty set in stone, and then also Gabriel LaBelle is pretty set in stone. I think some people are disregarding a possibility of the Challengers sadly goose eggs here, whereas I think Saturday Night and Substance, it's impossible for it to goose egg. It's gonna get acting. And Zendaya is not a lock. Even though I think Challengers is simply just not happening for Best Picture, I think Saturday Night and Substance are more likely to get pictured than Challengers. I am going to put Challengers in. I do think it is a very new Globes pick. I don't think it would mean that it would pick up a picture nomination. I just think that Globes might go with that. And then I do think Saturday Night is going to pick that 5th slot. I could be very misguided. I think its Best Picture chances have kind of gone down the drain. I think this would be the biggest boost it could get, except for maybe SAG Ensemble. The Substance, you know, look, I see it. I see it crystal clear as day. But, like, let's not forget what we're dealing with here. Like, it's a very... If it gets in here and then maybe Farjat gets something and maybe even Quali gets in, we could be cooking with something, especially if Complete Unknown misses. But, you know, I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't see much wiggle room after that. Hitman is kind of just so slight that I just can't imagine anything beyond actor. Different Man, some people got excited after that Gotham win, but the movie's very odd, so I don't think so. Better Man is a movie that everybody loves more than I did. I'm gonna go rewatch it, but I don't know, maybe it just throws itself in there out of nowhere. Wild Robot, AFI killed that chance, and then that's really all I can really say is possible. Director. This one can show a lot of, like, surprises. I will say that. Definitely room for something zany to happen. Something out of the ordinary. I don't have much reason to think that Brady Corbett is going to miss at all. Probably going to win, if I'm being honest. I don't really see much reason to believe Denis Villeneuve is going to miss, although some will try and insist he will. I don't see the evidence of such a thing. Sean Baker, Jacques Audier are going to happen. Again, people are going to try and insist Jacques Audier is going to miss. Don't do that. Jacques Audier is, like, directing an ambitious, loud, like, musical. Of course it's gonna happen. And I think Ramel Ross is gonna happen. If they're gonna go with Nickel Boys, why would Ramel Ross miss? I don't really get that. Ingenue is not locked. Why, you know, I don't see why. If let's say they don't go with her, why wouldn't they go with Ramel Ross? I think some people are barking up a weird tree by insisting Ramel Ross might not get in. He's won a couple prizes already, so that's dope. If you watch Nickel Boys, I don't really see how you miss director. I know it's gonna in a couple places, but I think this is gonna be one of the places where he does not miss. Now, I have Edward Berger in the 5th slot, but I don't know, something's really stopping me from believing Edward Berger. I'm gonna predict him just kind of in spite of myself, but you know what? I guess there's something about that direction that, like, some people think he's just getting in. I don't buy that. I do think Carly Farjat for The Substance is very possible. If I were to be predicting The Substance of Picture, I would be predicting Carly Farjat over Edward Berger right now. At Globes. I do think Carly Farjat, makes way for a lot more, like, flashy direction than Edward Berger for Conclave. That's why I'm, like, curious about the possibility of Carly Farjat. Because the director will be before, if Carly Farjat gets in here, then, like, we know for a fact Substance is getting its picture. But I can't really predict her without, thinking it's going to get into comedy pictures, so here we are. John M. Chu is picking up steam, which I think is a little silly. I think reality's going to, hit him in the face once these nominations are out, because I don't really see that. You can point to Greta Gerwig getting in for Barbie, but that movie had a lot more of an artistic vision, I guess you could say. I don't know, I think a lot of people are really critical of, like, the visual language of Wicked. He did win Asheville Review, so that's a pretty good sign that he's possible. But I would argue even old Globes wouldn't go for him. I don't really see why new Globes would go for John M. Chu. Mohammed Rasaloof for The Seed of the Sacred Fig, that could happen. I feel like the goodwill for him has kind of faded away, which is unfortunate, but it could still exist enough for him to get in. Still, I feel like he's more like the Oscars than here, though. Not really much else to consider outside of that. I think Greg Quidar could, like, potentially happen, but I feel like Sing Sing is a little slight, and a lot of people are gonna, like, praise the artistic vision of that. Jason Reitman for Saturday Night, he is, I would say, the biggest name here aside from Denis Villeneuve, weirdly enough. It's a very flashily directed movie, but again, that movie will be kind of lucky to get into picture at this rate. What I need for challenges, that'd be dope, but nah. Going to actress drama. Angelina Jolie, we all know that's gonna happen. Stewart even got in for Globe. So, there's no reason to believe Angelina Jolie is going to miss. Mariana Jean-Baptiste and Saoirse Ronan looking pretty solid. Then I would say Fernanda Torres is, like, looking really, really good for a nomination. I'm Still Here is having a great moment right now, like I said, and then Fernanda Torres, everyone's, like, just blown away by that performance. Rightfully so, she's excellent. Especially with this, and she won't get Critics' Choice or SAG, but she could get BAFTA. So I do think that Fernanda Torres is actually looking like a real threat for the Oscar nomination, and I think it will start here. If she misses here, cut her off. And I think Nicole Kidman's pretty solid for a nomination. She is amazing at Baby Girl. She does have the buzz for it, and she is Nicole Kidman. The Globes do have a thing for her. A lot of people are looking at Tilda Swinton for the last slot, but I'm like kind of set in Pamela Anderson. I really think that some voting body's going to throw her a bone, and I think that there's a little bit more hype for her to get her nomination than Tilda Swinton for a movie that is very bleh. I think bad, but most people are like, bleh. Tilda's really good. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but like, I don't think that movie's gonna make a dent. Not that I think Last Showgirl is, but I think there's more of a Pamela Anderson incentive than there is for Tilda Swinton, personally. Kate Winslet for Lee could also very well happen. I know some people are, looking at that Frances Fisher push and getting scared. I mean, honestly, I haven't noticed anything about Kate Winslet's, push that's different than what we typically see every year. So I'm not really panicking. I think the only reason people are actually getting scared because Frances Fisher's involved. And I know what happened with Angela Riseborough, but that was different, I think. That was a very last second grander push that Winslet is just simply not receiving. I think Winslet's push just seems pretty normal. It's just shocking because it's fucking Lee. I'm not really taking her seriously for the Oscar, but I can take her seriously here. I can buy into that. There's a slot open, and it doesn't have to be Pamela Anderson or Tilda Swinton. I'm thinking Pamela Anderson, but I think Kate Winslet I can look into. So Hailey Golestani for See the Sacred Fig, that'd be kind of cool. If they want to be cool for that last slot, they can go for her, but I would think otherwise. Ryan Destiny is a very Beatty performance. She's excellent in the movie. That Fire Inside is just really not taking off, and I really don't understand why. After that, Lily Rose Depp, I heard is excellent in Nosferatu, but, it's Lily Rose Depp in fucking Robert Eggers' monster movie. Florence Pugh for We Live in Time, another great performance that I just think is gonna get swept under the rug. Actor in drama, Adrian Brody, Coleman Domingo, Ray Fiennes, and Timothée Chalamet all getting in. The people were gonna say, Timothée Chalamet win because playing musical biopic. I just need y'all to understand that it's not as flashy as you think it is. It's not as Beatty as you would think he is. Maybe Domingo poses a threat. Maybe even Ray Fiennes poses a threat here. But I don't really have reason to believe Chalamet will pose a victorial threat. But he'll get in, for sure. He was excellent in Complete Unknown. After that, I'm a little set in stone that it'll be Daniel Craig and Sebastian Stan. Daniel Craig doesn't make that much sense as a nominee. And then Sebastian Stan, obviously, there's a whole thing with Donald Trump. Some people are still scared to go near The Apprentice. There's a whole bullshit about how he couldn't get on actors because nobody wanted to talk to him about Donald Trump. Nobody's mad at Sebastian Stan. They're just a little scared of going near this performance. I do think that said that was more PR. I think voting is a little different, and I still think Sebastian Stan is the one that checks the boxes. So I'm sticking with Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice, and I do think Daniel Craig looks pretty solid. Kingsley Ben-Adir for Bob Marley, One Love. I do wonder if that could take off. If he gets in here, I'm going to start getting scared that he can get SAG and BAFTA. I know there's a sense to be well, who fucking cares about Bob Marley, One Love? He's playing Bob Marley. That's not nothing. And yeah, again, a really good push from Paramount exists. I don't really believe in anything else past that. Nicholas Hoult for Juror Number 2, if that movie made even a dent, maybe. But man, Warner Bros. hated that movie. John David Washington for Piano Lesson, meh. Gerald Jerome for Unstoppable, I have seen, and he is really good. But I just think that movie is going to tear him down. And I don't think, you might be thinking, well, you just said Kings of India for Bob Marley. He's playing Bob Marley. That's very different, clearly. Paul Mescal, Gladiator, he's done. Best Actors in a Comedy Musical. This is weirdly where a lot of the competition is, lying. A lot of the heavy hitters are here, weirdly. And, okay, that's actually not true. Mikey Madison. We all know she's getting in. We all know Carla Sofia Gascon's getting in. We all know Cynthia Erivo is getting in. Demi Moore, I think most people know that she's happening, right? I do think that there's a lot of intent to, like Pamela Anderson, to give Demi Moore a nomination. I think a lot of the goodwill is going towards her. She has so much goodwill, genuinely. She could be the only nomination for The Substance here, easily, without question. And I'm going to go with June Squibb at number 5. She is really pushing herself, and, the people really want to get her in there. It's a very easy performance to get behind. Not that she's particularly Beatty, she's just very adorable. Very fun, she's killing it on the circuit. There is a possibility that people are it's just a goofy, fun performance, and they dismiss her for that, and, that's not impossible, but I don't know. Something looks good about June Squibb getting in here. She's not going to get the Oscar nom, because, fucking obviously. I do have Zendaya at number 6, because I have challenges in picture, but I'm not set in stone on that. I do think Zendaya's performance is very slight, very good, but very slight, whereas Amy Adams is a lot more, bombastic. Although I think the problem is I decided to just go with Zendaya because, I don't know, Amy Adams, Night Bitch is just nothing. Night Bitch has literally sunken. It came out today. It's what it is. I'm in Canada. It's not even releasing in Canada. It's making no money. It's kind of fucked. And then you got the challengers, which I have in picture. Zendaya's huge right now, and probably for a while. Feels smart to go with Zendaya over Amy Adams, so I'm gonna do that. But I won't be too shocked if, like, even if Challengers gets pictures, and I could see Zendaya missing. Emma Stone looks kind of not like she's not happening. She did win last year, so I'm not gonna fully count her out. That actor in a comedy musical. Ooh. There's a very real possibility that this category has no impact on the Oscar. Glenn Powell, he's going to get in for Hitman. Some people think he's going to win. He personally doesn't check any boxes for me, but I guess I won't count it out. Eisenberg's going to happen for Will Payne. Gabriella Bell is going to happen for Saturday Night. Those are pretty set in stone. There is a nightmare scenario where Sebastian Stan misses for a different man, but I don't really have much reason to believe he will. It gets a little fucky from there. I think Jesse Plemons, I would be a little surprised if he misses, to be honest. He's very good. He won that Cannes prize. Not that that matters at this point. But he is, like, a very clear standout in Kinds of Kindness. Like, and it's very possible he just straight up misses. But I think he is very possible, as is Michael Keaton for Beetlejuice. A very iconic performance. I do wonder about Hugh Grant for Heretic, too. I think Hugh Grant gives a very showy performance, and like, it is a genre film. That's really all that's holding him back. I just think more people saw Beetlejuice. They're both genre films, so that doesn't really matter. Michael Keaton's just a little showier, so I'm going with him, giving him an iconic performance as the Goose himself. But I'm not counting out Hugh Grant. I don't really believe in anyone else past that. Isaac Wong for Dee Dee could be an awesome nomination that they do. Julio Torres for Problemista, I doubt they saw it. Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool and Wolverine. He got in for Deadpool 1, but this is like the bottom of the toilet kind of Deadpool. Like, Deadpool 1 was like considered like a fresh, respected commodity. This is not that. Some people are resorting to Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. Yeah, I don't know. That seems pretty fucking reckless. Nobody liked the movie, and the last thing people want to do right now is honor Joaquin Phoenix. So I don't really have any possible reason to say Joaquin Phoenix can happen.